All right, let's talk about something that can either make or break a career, a deal, or just a Tuesday morning meeting: presentations. We're going to transform the way you think about them. We're going to take them from something you dread and turn them into something you can absolutely master.
You know that feeling, right? That little internal groan. You settle in, you're hoping for the best, but you're kind of bracing yourself for a slow, painful journey through a jungle of bullet points. It's a universal experience, and there's a really good reason for it.
And this quote, man, it gets right to the heart of it. The second the slides become the main event, the human connection just gets lost. So what do we even call this thing that's quietly killing all of our meetings? Well, it actually has a name.
Meet the slide you meant. It's this term popularized by author Gar Reynolds, and it describes that hybrid monster. It's part document, part slide, and honestly, it fails at being both. It's way too dense to be a good visual aid, so what happens? The audience just reads ahead, and the presenter basically becomes a narrator for something everyone could have just read in an email.
And look, this isn't just some minor annoyance we're talking about. Presentation expert Nancy Duarte actually calls it a suicide epidemic. And that's because the stakes are incredibly high.
Just think about it for a second. Every single time you present, something important is on the line. It could be landing a new client, getting that promotion, securing funding for your big idea. These aren't just slides. These are critical moments that can literally define your success.
So here's the hard truth. Making bad slides is easy. It's the default. But the cost is enormous. Duarte warns that doing this over and over is like committing career suicide. It's a slow, painful erosion of your credibility. But there is a way out, and it all starts with one simple, powerful shift in your focus.
Okay, here it is. This is the big secret. It's not about you. It's not about how smart you are or how much you know or how great your product is. A truly great presentation makes the audience the hero of the story. This quote gets right to the root of the problem, doesn't it? Most presentations fail because they're totally self-centered. They're all about the presenter's to-do list. To really, truly connect, you have to start from their point of view. So how do you actually do that? Well, before you even think about opening up PowerPoint or Keynote, you have to answer these 4 questions. First, who are they, really? Second, what is their biggest problem? What's the thing that keeps them up at night? 3, how does your idea solve that specific problem for them? And 4, what is the one thing you want them to do after you're done talking? Your entire presentation is just the answer to these questions. Okay, so once you've made the audience your hero, the next step is to design the entire experience for them. And listen, this does not mean you need to be an artist or a graphic designer. Not at all. This is so important. Good design isn't about adding fancy fonts or cool animations. It's about stripping things away. It's about subtraction to make the core message as clear as humanly possible. Here, let me show you exactly what I mean. Look at this slide. Where does your eye go? It kind of wanders a bit, right? Because both words have the exact same weight. There's no focus, there's no hierarchy. But now, look at this. Boom! With one simple change, just using a little bit of contrast, your eye is immediately drawn to the word effective. We've created focus, we've created meaning. That is design. It's just using simple visual tools to guide attention. Now let's apply this to a real-world example. Ah, yes, the before slide. A classic slide-ament. We've all seen this and we've probably all made this. It's crowded, there's zero visual breathing room, and it forces your brain to work overtime just to figure out what's important. It creates something called cognitive strain. It's literally tiring to look at. So how do we fix this mess? Well, instead of cramming everything onto one slide, we think like a designer. We give each core idea its own space to breathe. So if one of your key messages is about simplicity, the slide itself should feel simple, clear, and confident, just like this. Next, instead of just rattling off a list of features, we focus on the human element. The whole goal is to connect with your audience's real-world problems. You want to give a human face to your solution, to show them you actually get it. And finally, you bring it home. After you've established the problem and shown you understand their frustrations, you can present your product as the clear, obvious answer. See the difference? It's night and day. 3 clear slides, 3 clear ideas. No cognitive strain, just clarity. This brings us to our final, and let's be honest, probably our biggest challenge: data. How in the world do we apply these same principles of clarity and focus to all those charts and graphs? Yeah, when it comes to data, it is so easy to fall into the trap of what's called chart junk.
Things like 3D effects, distracting background colors, weird textures. All that extra stuff doesn't clarify the data, it actually distorts it and hides the main point. It makes it harder for your audience to see what really matters.
And this right here is the killer question for any data slide you ever make. Your audience is not there to analyze a spreadsheet. They're going to glance at your slide for about 3 seconds. That's it. So you have to give them the key takeaway instantly.
Now look at this. Same data, totally different experience. It's a clean, simple 2D chart. By using color as a design tool, we are literally telling the audience, hey, look here. The takeaway is immediate and it is unmistakable.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Your job isn't just to show data. Your job is to reveal its meaning. You have to be the interpreter. You have to use design to tell the audience what that data is really telling you.
So the next time you have a high-stakes presentation, remember this stuff. Make the audience your hero. Think like a designer to create absolute clarity and tell a powerful visual story. The question isn't whether your slides will be pretty. The real question is, what story will you tell?